Judge Arun Subramanian has sentenced Sean Combs to 50 months in prison.
At Diddy free concert parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females.
Disturbing new video appears to support some of the accusations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
When the Combs sisters walked into the courtroom, cameras were flashing and people were watching. Everyone expected them to look calm and collected, but what happened was completely different. A single video showed the truth behind a life that seemed perfect, revealing secrets so shocking that even Diddy's own children were upset. Today, we will explore the shocking truth, heartbreak, and betrayal that turned the courtroom into a place full of raw emotions. The morning of the trial arrived in Manhattan, but the city felt different, strangely quiet. Outside, people went about their day, cars moved through the streets, and voices filled the air. But inside the courthouse, everything felt heavier. Every look, every movement carried tension. Reporters pushed for space, cameras clicked non-stop, and social media influencers streamed live, sharing every moment with millions of followers. The Combs family arrived, some calm, some clearly nervous. Every small gesture seemed huge under the eyes of the public. Diddy's daughters, Chance, Delilah, and Jesse, sat in the front row. Their presence was noticeable, but their feelings were carefully hidden. They had grown up under public attention, where every smile could be talked about and every frown shared online. But today was different. This was not a glamorous event. There would be no cheering or applause. Today they faced hard truths, secrets that challenged memories, loyalty, and the very trust of family. At the heart of the trial was a video that had never been seen by the public. Prosecutors said it showed Diddy's carefully planned gatherings, parties that looked normal and glamorous from the outside but were far from it. Young women were often invited with promises of opportunities and success. Once there, everything, the lights, the music, even the cameras, was set up to control them. Every detail was designed to push people into situations they didn't expect. When the video played in court, the room went completely quiet. To someone watching casually, it looked like just another fancy celebrity party. Bright lights, loud music, and guests in elegant outfits. But for those who knew the story, it was different. The video showed control, manipulation, and fear. One key witness, Cassie, called it a gilded cage, a place that looked beautiful on the outside but was full of pressure and tension. Cassie's testimony carried real weight because it was personal. She came into this world young, full of dreams and hope. But the reality of these events hit her hard. In this world, following orders was demanded, breaking rules was punished, and resisting came at a heavy cost. Her story showed how Diddy's power worked in subtle ways. His charm and fame were tools of control, bending people to his will with promises, threats, and constant recording devices watching every move. Then, the video showed something no one expected. Kim Porter, the late mother of Delilah and Jesse, appeared on screen. She looked confused, almost unrecognizable, caught in moments that were both haunting and heartbreaking. For Delilah and Jesse, it was more than shocking. It was deeply painful. Their faces went pale as they instinctively moved closer, trying to protect themselves from the truth they had avoided for so long. The image of their loving mother and safe family suddenly felt distant and unreal. Diddy, sitting just a few rows away, could hardly hide his anger and panic. He demanded the video be stopped, his voice full of frustration and desperation. But in that moment, the focus had shifted. It was no longer about his fame or image. It was about the raw human reaction of his children confronting a painful reality. Chance and Justin, however, stayed composed, showing resilience or maybe a readiness to face uncomfortable truths that others could not. The video continued, showing just how carefully these gatherings were planned. Nothing was left to chance. Every movement of the attendees seemed choreographed. Lights were set to create certain moods, and every interaction was recorded for later use. The environment was designed to control not just actions, but thoughts and feelings. Cassie explained how the fear of losing opportunities or being humiliated in public kept people trapped in this invisible web. What the outside world saw as glamour was, for those inside, a subtle form of pressure and control. As the courtroom watched in silence, the story grew darker. The footage raised questions about Kim Porter's death in 2018. Official reports said pneumonia caused her passing, but the video left viewers uneasy. Had the pressures around her pushed her to the limit? Was there more to her tragic death than the public ever knew? No one could answer these questions that day, but they lingered in the minds of everyone in the room. The tension was thick, the mystery heavy, and the courtroom held its collective breath. Chance's perspective added a new layer to the story. As Diddy's daughter from another relationship, she had always seen both the perks and pressures of fame from a slightly distant angle. Watching her father's world unfold in the courtroom forced her to balance admiration with disappointment. The glamour she had once seen now seemed complicated, and the reality behind the fame was difficult to accept. For Justin, the eldest, the trial was about more than emotion. It was a test of strategy. Growing up, he had learned the unspoken rules of power, influence, and reputation. His calm presence suggested he had expected some of this fallout and was ready to handle it with thoughtfulness and precision. Outside the courthouse, the trial became a worldwide spectacle. Social media exploded with clips, headlines, and trending hashtags. People debated not just the legality of what the video showed, but the emotional and moral consequences. Discussions emerged about the dangers of unchecked power, the manipulations hidden behind fame, and the psychological pressure on those caught in such environments. The trial wasn't just a courtroom drama. It was a mirror reflecting the cost of influence and celebrity. The courtroom drama showed a huge difference between what people saw and what was really happening. Diddy's famous gatherings, once symbols of wealth and fun, were now revealed as carefully controlled events. Guests weren't free to act as they wanted. They were part of a larger plan. Power and control went beyond normal authority, using fear and spectacle to make people obey. Cassie's vivid stories helped everyone understand how manipulation could be both subtle and overwhelming, leaving deep emotional scars. The emotional toll was clear in everyone's reactions. Delilah and Jesse instinctively pulled back, showing that no preparation could protect them from facing painful memories. Chance and Justin stayed calm, dealing with their feelings differently, balancing loyalty, family, and moral responsibility. These varied reactions showed how complicated family life can be, especially under constant public attention. The trial didn't just affect the Combs family. Legal experts debated the possible consequences, ethicists explored the moral lessons, and cultural commentators discussed what this meant for society. The events forced people to face the dark side of celebrity life, how money, fame, and influence can control and hurt people. Many began to wonder how many others had suffered in silence, trapped in a world where defiance came with high risks. By the end of the day, the courtroom had become a place of reflection. The haunting images of Kim Porter, the carefully staged gatherings, and the reactions of the Combs sisters left a strong impression. The trial had become more than a legal battle. It was about emotions, power, and resilience. It reminded everyone that even in lives full of wealth and fame, hidden pain, trauma, and tough ethical choices could still exist. In the weeks after the trial, the public struggled to process what had happened. Social media was full of debates, questions, and empathy. People tried to understand how the glitter of fame could hide so much pain. Cassie was praised for her bravery, while the daughter's reactions made many think about family loyalty, love, and the difficulty of facing uncomfortable truths. Commentators asked whether exposing these events would bring real accountability or just change how people saw the story. The trial revealed more than a scandal. It told a human story of courage, vulnerability, and truth. It showed how fame can bring opportunity, but also enable control and manipulation. It highlighted the complicated bonds of family, where love and trust can exist alongside secrets and betrayal. Behind every viral video, headline, and public image, real people are living deep personal struggles. The courtroom became a mirror for society, forcing everyone to ask hard questions. How much power is too much? How do we protect the vulnerable? How do we balance love for family with confronting the truth? Even after the cameras stopped, the video remained a symbol of resilience, human complexity, and the power of truth. For the Combs sisters, Diddy, and the world watching, it was a moment that changed everything. In the end, this was not just a story about a scandal or a famous family. It was a story about courage, the courage to face uncomfortable truths, to challenge powerful forces, and to navigate the messy, often painful realities of human relationships. It was a story about the weight of secrets, the cost of fame, and the enduring hope that, even in the darkest moments, truth and resilience can shine through. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.